guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Mads. Thank you so much for watching me today. I'm going to be reviewing the James Charles and Morphe palette, and it just launched like a few hours ago and I just got it from the Morphe store and I can't wait to open it and see how it is and what it looks like and everything like that. So if you wanted to see my first impressions slash a little bit of a review, then go ahead and keep on watching. Let's go ahead and get right into the video. Alright, so like I said, I literally just went to the Morphe store a few hours ago and picked this up. I have it right here, and honestly it was my first time going to the Morphe store. I live in Dallas, so they recently just opened up one. Here it is. This is all I've seen. I haven't broken into it or opened it, so I'm really excited to do that in this video. Oh, honestly, this looks like a lot bigger than what I imagined it to be. It looks much bigger. I've never used the 39A palette by Morphe. That was their holiday palette from last year. I never got that palette, but that's what this palette is based off of in terms of, like, you know, the pan sizes and how many there are. There's 39 shades in there. So let's just go ahead and break it open. I'm so excited. Oh my god, wow, this actually feels like really nice in my hands, not gonna lie. And wow, I actually really like the matte with the gloss James Charles written on here. Let's see. Oh my god, oh my goodness, oh my goodness, I'm so excited. All these shades, all these bright shades just make me really happy. And wow. Okay, so the first thing right off the bat is the fact that this middle row right here has the perfect tone of shades that you would use on a regular basis, which is why, like, James Charles made this palette in the first place. Is for working artists, and you know, if you're a working artist, makeup artist, you go through these shades like that, you know. Your most used shades are up here. When I first looked at this palette, like when the first pictures emerged online, I was kind of skeptical because I was like, wait, these like 3 shades right here looked way too orange. But now in person that I look at it, I'm just going to do like a little swatch. It's not like orange, like that kind of orange, you know. It's like more of an orange that you would use throughout your crease and building shadow up. So with this palette right here, I'm actually going to recreate the same look that he did on the box right here. Obviously, I'm not going to do like the white paint and all that, but definitely his eye look, I'm going to try to recreate that the best I can. I have my base makeup done and my brows filled in, but that's about it. There's no shadow on my eyes. If you see anything, which sometimes the camera can look like I'm wearing eyeshadow, but it's actually just my stained eyelids. But yeah, let's go ahead and see if this palette is as good as I think it is, you know? Alright, so to get like the best review out of this video, I'm actually going to be using a primer on one eyelid, and then I'm going to be using the Tarte Shape Tape on the other eyelid. When James did his entire video, he said that these shadows work a little bit better with a primer versus like a wet concealer. This is like the best selling concealer in the world right now, so if it doesn't work with Tarte Shape Tape, we will find out. And then one side I'm going to be using a primer. This is the NARS Pro Prime Smudge Proof Eyeshadow Base. Yeah, if you want to see which side is better, then let's just find out together. I'm just going to zoom you guys in a little bit closer so that way you guys can see what I'm doing. Alright, so on the left side of my eye, my left, your right, I'm going to be using a primer. And on the other side, I'm going to use the Tarte Shape Tape, but I'm actually going to set this with one of the shades in this palette right here, just because the primer is a little bit more dry and then the concealer is a little bit more wet. So I know he did like an entire tutorial with this look right here, but I'm just going to follow, you know, what I see on this box. Alright, so to set this eye, I'm going to be taking this first shade right here, which is called Canvas. So I'm actually going to be taking a little bit of this orange, this bright orange right here, which is called 518. So I'm going to be taking this shade right here, 518, through my crease. And this side, you know, is the one with the Tarte Shape Tape as a base, and this side is with the primer. So I'm going to go in with both and see what side is performing well. I think in the camera, like when I looked at it, this shade kind of looks yellow, but it's actually a bright neon orange. So I'm taking that in my crease. Now I'm going to do the same thing on this eye with the primer and see if it performs any better. So I dipped in the same amount of times as I did on this side, and I feel like the shadow is a little bit brighter with the primer than it is with the concealer. That's just me looking in the mirror right now, but I'm not sure how the camera is picking that up. So the next shade I'm going to go in with is going to be a pink. I'm actually going to be taking the shade Skip right here, this bright, pink. And I'm actually going to, that might have been too much, but I'm going to tap off the excess, which, by the way, there's still fallout, but that's pretty normal with any kind of colored eyeshadow. Okay, I'm going to take that right on top of the orange. I didn't really see a lot of fallout with this shade or this shade, but definitely with the pink I'm seeing like way more fallout. I figure that's probably because of like, how hard it is to make brighter shades with no fallout. Alright, so next up, I'm going to be taking a reddish kind of orangey shade. I'm actually going to be dipping a little bit into You're Kidding. That's the only shade I remember from him, from this palette when he did the video, because like he was just so excited talking about the shade. So let's see. And apparently this shade right now that I'm going to dip into, the You're Kidding, the bright red, is actually a pressed pigment, and I guess this one you're kind of supposed to pack on. I'm just going to go like a little bit above where I had the pink. This is the perfect everyday look to wear to Costco, and have their samples. So I guess with this shade you're supposed to pack on and then kind of build up, so. And I totally see that, why he said that. Right off the bat, the shadows are performing way better on my left eyelid. I can just see it from the camera. They just blend much better. Alright, so next up I'm going to be going in with the Tarte Shape Tape to cut my crease. I tried cutting my crease with the NARS primer, but it's just like not doing it. I'm going to move the mirror closer. I can't do this so far. Okay, I think he has a full-on cut crease, so I'm just going to try to mimic it as best as I can. I do have slightly hooded eyes, so it makes it a little bit harder, but it's okay. We doing it. Okay, so this is what it looks like so far. So I'm just going to do one eye at a time. So I just cut my crease on my right eye with the Tarte Shape Tape as the base. And I'm going to go in with Flashback and set the part that we cut. Alright, so there's actually like a lot of fallout in that shade. Whew. Okay, so that's a white, but it's definitely nowhere near the white that it looks like on James. It just doesn't look as white as, like, you know, his eyes on the box. Let me see. So I just changed brushes. Let's see if that makes a difference. I mean, it is buildable, but it's nowhere near the white that, like, you know, he has and what it was shown, like, in his videos when he was recreating this look. So there's that. Alright, I'm going to cut my crease on my left eye with the Tarte Shape Tape and do the same thing. Alright, I'm going to cut my crease on the left eye with a Tarte Shape Tape. Alright, and I'm going to do the same thing and set that crease that we just cut with Flashback with the white shade. And let's see if it has the same amount of fallout as the other eye. Or if it's better. Okay, I'm gonna use like my finger. The swatch on the white doesn't look too good, so maybe it's supposed to be better with the finger? I don't know, let's see. Not really seeing much of a difference, to be honest. I'm gonna try to build it up. Okay, you know what? The white is actually picking up much better on this side. And that's weird because we still cut the crease with the Tarte Shape Tape. See, this eye looks much brighter than this eye. Alright, so next up, it looks like he has like a purple and green at the bottom with the blue on top. Okay, I'm gonna like just try to do like my own thing in this one. I'm gonna actually go in with this blue right here. I've been dying to play with this shade specifically. And I'm going to put that, ooh, that's such a pretty shade. I'm gonna put that on like, starting from the half of the eye, middle of the eye. I'm going to be going in with this darker blue shade right here. I'm going to take that on the outer V and try to fill in. Now I'm going to be taking, same brush, I'm going to be taking this purple right here. That's actually really pretty. Okay, now I'm going to do the same thing on the opposite eye and see if it performs any better. Darker blue. I really love that dark blue. Oh wow. Okay, so right off the bat, this eye, the shadow just goes on so much easier and so much better. Like, it's just blending out much better. And I honestly think it's because of the primer. Alright, next time I'm going to go in with the purple. Alright, so at the bottom right here, this purple, I've been wanting to try that. So I'm going to take that on my lower lash line, and I'm only going to take it halfway. So next time I'm going to be taking this like purpley pink shade. I'm actually going to add that in and blend that with the purple. And then I'm going to go in with the black and add some dip. I'm going to be taking this lime green and to top it off, I'm also going to be using this shimmery, I think this is like their only like glitter pressed pigment, whoa, that's actually really pretty. But I'm going to try to like tap this on. I've just like been wanting to try this yellow, so I'm going to take this on the inner part of my eye. Okay, so this yellow is bright. Alright you guys, let me go ahead and give you my final thoughts. I just finished up the rest of my makeup, the base and some blush and bronzer and a little bit of lipstick. I did end up cleaning the fallout off my under eyes, as well as I added a little bit more concealer. So here are my final thoughts. So with this palette, I'm actually like, it didn't blend as easily for me. Like as you can see, like here, let me show you exactly what color. So maybe this is probably because I used this on top of like the blues, but this shade, you know, it's like, it's not like a normal eyeshadow, it's different. It didn't blend like that easily, like not blend, but like sit as easily on top with the blue shades. I don't know if that's just because of that specific color, but it kind of looks a little messy right here just because of the way those two shadows decided to lay on each other. Besides that, everything else looks amazing. Everything else blended really easily. As for the primer side, I do like it better than the concealer side. Yeah, the white isn't as bright as I thought it would be, but it does work a lot better on the primer side versus the non-primer concealer side. Like I said in the beginning of this video, I am going to compare the James Charles palette versus the Morphe 35B, just because it's like this used to be like the only colorful palette that Morphe had. So I'm going to do it side by side and tell you, since I've used both, which one I prefer more. I know the 35B is discontinued in the US, but I think it's still available in the UK. Alright, so side by side comparison. This obviously is much bigger and has, you know, neutral shades. It's like the palette that every artist wants because it has neutrals, colorful shades, and everything in between. Versus this one has way more color. Just like for a grin's sake, I'm going to take a swatch of this pink shade versus this pink shade right here. It's just side by side just to show you, you know, which one is better. So this is the James Charles one. Now the other finger I'm going to use the one from the 35B palette. This shade right here. Just right off the bat feeling it, his feels much creamier. Okay. So the difference is pretty apparent. The 35B wasn't like my favorite choice of colorful shades palette just because it was just way too much fallout and they seemed very chalky. The pigmentation on these colors, at least like the first 2 rows, is much more pigmented. As for the white, I didn't really see the white was as pigmented, but that's because on the concealer side the white kind of like disappeared, like it wasn't that bright. But and I couldn't really layer it on, but on the primer side, the eye primer side, it actually worked relatively well. Not like the brightest white I've seen, but definitely like brighter than most. As for the review of the first 2 rows, including like, you know, the middle shade, I'm actually going to do like a few more neutral looks and put up a separate video on that and tell you guys if they are as beautiful as they look in the palette. I love how the eye look turned out. I really like the colors that he chose. I think the packaging is amazing. Heavy duty magnet to it, so I really like that. There is fallout in like some of the harder shades to make, like the white definitely had a lot of fallout. The purple didn't really have too much, a little bit. I did see some of the green, like this lime green shade, did have a little bit of fallout, but I think that's like pretty standard. My favorite shades from this entire eye look are the yellow, the dark blue, the red, and the pink. So yeah, and also a little bit of that like magenta-ish purple. So yeah, this was a first impressions. It's not like, you know, an end-all be-all review. But this palette, do I think that it's better than the Morphe 35B? Heck yes. But do I think like it's better in terms of like the neutral shades? I don't know yet because I haven't tried that. So stay tuned for my next video. I honestly don't think like it was that bad with the concealer side, but I also feel like it's definitely noticeable with the primer side if you use a primer. So I'm not sure, like I personally would not buy a primer just to use it with an eyeshadow palette. That's just me. I'm just giving you my honest opinion on that. So it's kind of up to you whether you want to buy a primer or not, or if you even want to buy this palette in the first place, because I see it both ways. Now, do I think this is like the best colorful palette, you know, that's probably out there? Probably not, because there are definitely like, you know, improvements that can be made. Yeah, that's just like my 2 cents on that. I always try to make my reviews like super honest, and I haven't seen anyone else's review, so these are just solely my own. I'm not sure if other people have had trouble with this palette in terms of like, you know, some of the patchiness right here with some of the colors. Like I said, I'm gonna have to play around with this more to give you a, you know, my full and final thoughts on this palette right here. So yeah, this palette, if you do want it, it goes on sale on the 16th at Ulta. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, give me a like and subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell so you get a notification every single time I post a new video. And yeah, I hope you guys have an amazing day or night wherever you are. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!